In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. In addition to the events in Syria, with the special astronomical changes in 2012 led by the Regulus star or Alpha Leonis positional change from Leo to Virgo constellation, and the end of Regulus' 2000-year presence in the Leo constellation, other important political changes and plans were also made for the future. The year 2012 was the beginning of the second term of Obama's presidency in the United States and was concurrent with foreign policy changes. Militarism was further expanded in the Middle East, and John Kerry, who like George Bush was a member of the Skull and Bones Secret Society and a fan of society's Order of Death slogan in contrast to his democratic pretense, was chosen as the United States Secretary of State. He then placed the secret support of ISIL and other armed elements opposed to the Assad family on his agenda in parallel with the democratic actions.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country. We can do a better job, and I intend to do it.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
Furthermore, global Freemasonry gradually commenced its planning for the selection of the next US president, who would be related to the Regulus star or Alpha Leonis. This is important because, apart from the issue of transferring Regulus from Leo to Virgo in 2012, in Masonic circles, the Regulus star has been linked with the destiny of Iran in the apocalypse, because this star was known as Iranian King's Glory and Power Star. Freemasons have intended to eliminate Iran for the full execution of the deal of the century by choosing a special president in the United States of America to pave the way for the absolute rule of Freemasons in the world and commence the kingdom of the Antichrist in Jerusalem. Donald Trump, the current president of the United States of America, was chosen because, in many ways, he's seen as the best option for governing the United States as its last leader before U.S. collapse and transfer of power to Jerusalem. Donald Trump has been the best option for the presidency of the United States of America in what is the most sensitive period of the Freemasons' history, the reasons for which will be comprehensively analyzed moving forward. However, one of the most reasons for selecting Donald Trump as the president of the US in this period is the close relation between his astrology sign and the Regulus star, which has been pointed out in various sources. Regulus star has been known as Donald Trump's lucky star, and the destiny of his leadership has been linked with the destiny of the Regulus star. It is said about Regulus that people whose sign is entangled with this star gain power in a short amount of time and can command vast dominance in a vast territory. However, Regulus' biggest enemy is the avenging of its owner from others, as if the mentioned powerful person decides to take revenge from others. His power and rule will be destroyed. Of course, the fact that Trump intends to revenge upon those responsible for his impeachment, which has been pointed out by Western news networks, signals the hidden message that soon the time of Trump's fall will begin, which would be followed by the US collapse and transfer of power to Jerusalem, and rise of the evil global rule. Considering Trump's link to the Regulus star and what was explained in this regard, we find that, as the owner of the Regulus star and his like-minded Freemason companions' view, Trump has been tasked to use his relationship with the Regulus star to destroy the 4,000-year-old great and powerful civilization of Iran and its independence on one hand, and simultaneously facilitate the destruction of the American empire and transfer the global power to Jerusalem on the other hand, to begin the evil age of Lilith or the devil, led by the Antichrist. This all coincides with the Regulus' passing from the Leo or Lion constellation to the Virgo or Lady constellation. In other words, the link between Regulus and Trump has allowed the global Freemasonry and Illuminati to take maximum advantage from this attribute of Trump in concurrent destruction of Iran's great civilization and other divine religions such as Christianity and Islam. They will of course fail in this path, as we will point out the failure of these plans at the end of our analysis. Nevertheless, it is interesting that the followers of Devil, Freemasons and Illuminati have found a link between Iran and divine religions and have provoked a common enemy for both purposes. This fact importantly points out the importance of Iran's role in guarding divine religions and not just Islamic Shia thought in front of Illuminati's evil plans. Of course, the selection of Donald Trump for American presidency and Boris Johnson as the Prime Minister of England had other reasons as well. One of the most important reasons of support for Trump in the US and Boris Johnson in England is adhering to the Tree of Life, Kabbalah, and Thoth Tarot symbology. The point is that every section of the Kabbalah Tree of Life is related to one of the Grand Tarot's cards or Trump cards. As we had noted before, 22 Grand Tarot cards exist that are named Trump cards as well. In Kabbalah's Tree of Life, a special place has been attributed to each of the Grand Tarot cards. When we look at the position of each Trump card on the Tree of Life, we find a fascinating point. As can be seen in the images, a Trump card named the Fool exists that is numbered 0 or 22, and in some games and layouts holds the highest power among the Grand Tarot cards. This Grand Tarot card has occupied a special position in the Tree of Life, in a way that it is the closest Trump card to the crown Sphirot. If we pay attention to where the lightning flash of creation passes through the Kabbalah tree, we can observe that this lightning, which is emitted from the crown Sphirot, the highest level of the tree, goes instantly towards the full Trump card and then towards the other Sphirots until exiting via the Malkut or the Kingdom Sphirot. Therefore, the full Trump card holds the most sensitive spot in the Tree of Life, where the emitted lightning is initiated. Ergo, the beginning and the ending order of each Kabbalah period is linked with the full Trump card. On the other hand, it can be observed in the political world that the traditional arms of global Freemasonry and Illuminati, meaning the US and England in the current age, are being led by two seemingly foolish, or the fool characters. Although these two characters are successful figures in politics and economy, they have conducted audacious activities with their foolish appearance that no other Freemason has dared to conduct. Donald Trump's bold and seemingly stupid actions, such as tearing the JCPOA nuclear deal, trade war with China, negotiations with North Korea, etc., as well as Boris Johnson's endeavors for England's exit from the European Union, all seem foolish. Naturally, Freemasonry and Illuminati are actively trying to present these actions as such, because soon, Illuminati intends to collapse all traditional Western and Eastern economic powers, including China and Russia, and on top of all, the European Union, England, and the USA. Afterwards, when the traditional power system governing the world has fallen, they will establish a new world order in Jerusalem, or Beit el-Maqdis. The immediate collapse of England and the US is not plausible without the necessary contexts and excuses, since ordinary people will suspect the matter and postulate large conspiracies. However, with the existence of two seemingly foolish people such as Donald Trump and Boris Johnson, destruction of the USA, England, and the rest of the powers would seem ordinary, and these politicians will shoulder the blame. Thereafter, the possibility for the rise of new power in Beit el-Maqdis or Jerusalem will come to fruition. Hence, two seemingly stupid international politicians such as Trump and Johnson in this age are completely aligned with the full Trump card and its special role in the Kabbalah Tree of Life. They are counted as a predetermined plan for a large conspiracy to act from the position of the full trump card in the Kabbalah tree and ending the old age and ushering the new one. However, the astonishing truth about the full trump card is that it is equal to the Joker card in a normal deck of cards. This notion has also been pointed out by various sources. However, by hearing the name of the Joker, the audience's minds would probably notice an important factor. Yes, in our current time, early 2020, we have all heard the name of the Joker. There are talks of the Joker everywhere these days. The film Joker is advertised by the media and wins various international awards. News of the suicide of the previous Joker's actor makes another independent news stream in the media. A variety of people wearing Joker's masks in unrests and riots around the world, for instance in Iraq, heralds the presence of the Joker in the media, again as well as the streets. Numerous short clips from the Joker movies played back on media, alongside various other items, which lie outside the scope of this discussion. Considering these explanations, it is clear that the Joker's frame towards the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020 is not without reason. Just as much as the apparently foolish Masonic politicians are present and aligned at the top of the power pyramid with the full trump card, ordinary deceived people are active in the streets with the code name the Joker, alongside with the global Freemasonry infantry. This policy of pressure from below and negotiation and action from above is being carried out from two sides by the Jokers and the Fools. Each group, hand in hand, is moving towards creating commotion, unrest, economic destruction, anarchism, and the collapse of the old orders governing the world, in a bid to crown the modern global evil order in Jerusalem, or Beit el-Maqdis. How naive are the commoners, those that are deceived by the powerful and intelligent leaders of Freemasonry without seeing the hands holding the strings behind the curtain. In spite of this intelligence, the divine view and awareness of the eminent leader of the Islamic Revolution, the great Ayatollah Khamenei, towards the Freemason politicians of the world is extraordinary. During the Friday mass prayers on January 17, 2020, he called the American politicians and above all Donald Trump as jokers, which is another notion towards the relation between the fool, meaning Trump, with the Joker. This clearly illustrates the divine confirmations as well as his complete grasp on international matters.
این دلقک‌های آمریکایی که به دروغ و با کمال رذالت میگن که ما در کنار مردم ایرانیم، ببینن مردم ایران کی هستند.
However, the supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, Grand Ayatollah Khamenei, since a long time ago, with unparalleled intelligence, warned about the state of being fake, forgery, and fraud of some fake madness-type role-plays and seemingly stupid actions of Donald Trump, and stated that even these artificial stupidity would not go unanswered, and that the Islamic Republic of Iran would respond appropriately and justly even to the seemingly foolish actions of Donald Trump and the United States government.
ثالثاً این آقایی که در رأس اونجاست اگرچه آدم متعادلی نیست ظاهراً. همین روزا در آمریکا صحبت مشکل روانی و دکتر روانی و روانشناس و اینهاست براش. اینا رو خب ما هم شنیدیم. منتها این رو هم بدانه، هم او هم اجزای حکومت دوروری ها، این دیوان بازی های نمایشی هم بی جواب نخواهد موند.
It should now be noted that all hints towards future events were made in an animation, the production of which began in 2008 and was subsequently released in 2012. These hints are not a type of prophecy, This animation and other secret and encrypted information tools broadcast the evil plans of the Illuminati to the members of Freemasonry and Illuminati around the globe, so that any member of this extensive network can realize their exact role in the designated period. In other words, this animation solely sends its message to Freemasons and Illuminati members in various layers, and only now, after extensive research and deliberation, only parts of it have been decrypted with regards to Illuminati's plans during the months past. Hence, numerous parts of this content have not been recovered yet. However, notions regarding the Trump age of America are not limited to what has been mentioned, and we shall point them out later in other sections in future analysis. After the above comprehensive explanations, we should now recapitulate this scene in more details. At the beginning of the scene, we see Lily or Lilith sitting at the center of a green-brown circle. It means that, at the beginning of the scene, Lilith is sitting in her main position, which is the Virgo constellation in zodiac colored as green-brown. The Regulus star or Alpha Leonis can be observed at the side of the circle with its specific angle. In this position, Lilith holds the famous red apple in her hands. Naturally, in the deviated views of the ancient infidel nations, as well as Hebrew Zionist books, the red apple is deceptively named as the apple of science and knowledge. Up until now, the whole room is bright and light touches all its corners. Suddenly, the room darkens, and the light shines on only some specific points. The first point is where Lilith is sitting at the corner of the circle. The second point is the face of a rabbit drawn on the wall. The third point is the face of a flying deer painted on the other part of the wall. The fourth point is the word exit, which is written on the classroom's door. In this instance, Lilith's face takes a depressed and sad form. She lets the apple go. The apple rolls on the classroom's chessboard-like ground, while the Illuminati light, which was shining on her face, now follows the apple around the room. The apple continues to roll until it reaches Obama's feet, next to an abbreviation resembling C7, but with some alterations. It then stops moving, and after a short while divides into two halves, and two blossoms grow from within each half. In the end, a fully grown lotus flower blooms underneath the Illuminati light. In this moment, a gold coin is seen underneath Obama's shoes, who is perspiring profusely while looking at the lotus blooming with utmost concern. According to Freemasonry beliefs, the beautiful girl sitting in the center of the circle is the same Lilith or Lily, who is the female manifestation of the devil. She owns the fruit of science and knowledge. The Freemasons and Kabbalists believe that the product of this science and knowledge is humankind's awareness of nature's scientific laws, denying incorporeal beings, angels, and the God. However, in accordance with Illuminati beliefs, the devil or Lilith has not had sufficient time to use the apple's science and knowledge to transcend herself and guide Adam and Eve in shunning religious beliefs. For this reason, despite her own desire, the devil or Lilith lets the red apple of science and awareness fall on the ground so that it can evolve and develop among humans and jinns with the passing of ages and centuries. In the same way, it is noted on the iPetGoat 2 Animations website that Lily looks at the apple and says, "This apple does not belong to me," and then lets it fall to the ground. This matter is a confirmation of the provided analysis regarding the fact that due to the distorted beliefs of Illuminati, Lilith or the devil has not seen the science and awareness at the beginning of creation as sufficient as to use it for the advancement of her important plans. Therefore, she lets it fall to the ground so that it evolves among humans and jinns with the passing of ages and centuries. The sudden darkening of the classroom in the scene, simultaneously with the dropping of the apple from Lilith's hands, means that since the conception of Lilith or the devil's plans, Illuminati's light has been shining over the world. However, after the tales of Adam and Eve, Illuminati's light has weakened and has only been focused on the forbidden fruit, or the apple of knowledge, as interpreted by Illuminati and Freemasonry. Furthermore, as the Illuminati light weakened, the devil or Lilith was banished from heaven, which is depicted by lightening the word exit when the whole room has darkened. On the other hand, the lightning of the rabbit and deer's faces on the wall, both of which are the symbols of teacher and mentor in Masonry teachings, shows that in the age of weakened Illuminati light and predominance of divine religions, Illuminati's teachings have entered secretive unions and circles such as devil-worshipping temples within maze-like vaults of temple priests and hidden masonry lodges. Freemason masters and teachers then embarked on teaching these blasphemous beliefs to their followers. It is noteworthy that the rabbit symbol in this animation is connected to this age of secrecy and underground masonry. It corresponds with the rabbit hole in Alice in Wonderland. Through which Alice finds herself within the mysterious world of the underground Freemasonry and Illuminati. In addition, in Freemasons and Illuminati views, with the start of pervasiveness of Christianity and subsequently Islam all over the world, infidel teachings of Illuminati were further weakened, and Lilith and her followers were in practice barred further to these explanations. The existence of the green-brown circle around Lilith, as well as her sad and depressed face, along with 12 dummies barred in a fence, all point to this restriction. In any case, positioning Lilith within the green-brown circle, which is the symbol of Virgo, or the Lady, and the dot next to the aforementioned circle, which is the symbol of Alpha Leonis or Regulus, shows that while she has been imprisoned and restricted for more than 2,000 years, Lilith is still eagerly waiting so that her 2,167 years of restriction are over. As soon as the transfer of Regulus star from Leo or Lion constellation to Virgo or Lady constellation is completed, she will be free from her prison and can restart the modern age of Illuminati and vanquish the divine religions. This is the important detail concealed within the circle and the dot surrounding Lilith in this scene of the animation. Moving forward, you can see that the Illuminati light will follow the movement of the apple fallen from Lilith's hands. The apple keeps rolling on a checkered board. This scene, in Freemason's view, shows the movement of the apple of science and knowledge towards its evolution and betterment through centuries and ages in the world of humans and genes, which has been depicted by a checkered black and white ground. The apple's movement and rolling underneath the Illuminati light continues to dark parts of the room until it reaches and stops at Obama's shoes next to an abbreviation resembling C7, but with some alterations. After a short while, the apple divides into two halves, and two blossoms grow from within each half. In the end, a fully grown lotus flower blooms underneath the Illuminati light and starts growing further. In this moment, a gold coin is observed underneath Obama's shoe, who is perspiring profusely while looking at the lotus blooming with utmost concern. When analyzing this part of the animation's scene, we should say that it points towards the fact that according to Freemasonry and Illuminati's views, the evolution of science and knowledge continues through centuries until, with the change in position of the Regulus star or Alpha Leonis from Leo to Virgo constellation, at the advent of the third millennia, and during Obama's presidency, the evolution of Masonic knowledge reaches its perfected state desired by the Devil and Illuminati. Hence, it is in this moment that the red apple of Masonic science and knowledge stops, blossoms under the evil Luciferian light of Illuminati, and the famous lotus flower appears to bloom, which is the favorite flower of pharaohs and gods of the infidel beliefs of ancient Egypt. Regarding this part of animation, it is important to note some crucial information in two tiers of analysis. In the first tier of analyzing this scene, it should be noted that the abbreviation C7 has a secret and cryptic meaning. First, C7 points to the 7 crimes of sins, which are the tools one uses to get closer to the devil. Second, C7 is the production code for a mysterious horror series called Terror of Vervoids, which was broadcast by BBC One from November 1st through November 22nd, 1986. In this series, some human-plant hybrids called vervoids are depicted that have strong seeds, which could passively endure for thousands of years in the darkness. However, as soon as they are exposed to light, vervoids would take root and grow. The result of vervoids' growth is their rebirth and subsequently attacking and feeding on humans. The relation between the vervoids series with this part of the Decoded 2 animation is the fact that, after enduring thousands of years of passively and being set aside, the vervoids would blossom again, grow rapidly, and become active when they are exposed to intense light. In this scene, the seeds within the masonry apple of science and knowledge suddenly grow after passively and long storage to turn into Egyptian pharaoh's favorite flower, like lotus. As for the second layer of this scene, it should be noted that in the myths and infidel beliefs of the ancient Egypt, which were inherited by Freemasons and Illuminati, Ra, or the sun god, was the greatest god of ancient Egyptians. He who was born from the heart of the lotus flower either held this title alone or at times shared it, Amun-Ra, in people's beliefs. Hence, it has been secretly alluded to that in the advent of the third millennia, during Barack Obama's reign and concurrently with the astronomical changes of the Regulus star around 2012, with the opening of the masonry apple of science and knowledge underneath the Illuminati's light, the age of the parading infidel ancient Egypt's beliefs shall begin. The Ra, the sun god, shall blossom from within the freshly bloomed lotus and be reborn again. Therefore, the sequence of this important scene is telling us that thousands of years ago, when evil and infidel beliefs were widespread, Lilith, or the devil's female manifestation, had conquered the world. But with the dissemination of divine religions such as Christianity and Islam, Lilith and the beliefs attributed to her were imprisoned in darkness, and only Kabbalists, Freemasons, and members of Illuminati were aware of these secrets and embarked on teaching them in secret and hiding to their followers in a bid to further develop the Masonry science. However, 2,167 years, or better yet, after 2,000 years of divine religions such as Christianity and Islam circulation, the underground Masonry science has evolved and its followers increased to an extent that, with the start of the new millennia, and in parallel with the astronomical changes in position of the Regulus star from Leo to Virgo constellations, Ra's rebirth and pervasiveness of ancient Egypt's infidel beliefs has begun. Lilith has also broken free from her prison, and the new global order centered in Jerusalem, based on the evil teachings of the Lucifer and his female manifestation Lilith, and led by the Antichrist, is nearing its establishment. Nevertheless, As it was repeatedly pointed out, these evil plans and blasphemous beliefs are related to Freemasons, Illuminati, Kabbalah, and Zionism, and divine religions do not hold such deceiving and distorted claims as truth. Rather, as we will note at the end of our discussions, soon the evil beliefs shall be vanquished with the hands of the righteous and God-believing people, and a global divine government will be established. In this part, we should point towards another important notion. In previously observed scenes, we saw that right after Obama's election following the end of George Bush's presidency, Obama was cheerful and happy, and the expression LOL was written next to him. However, in current scene, Obama is perturbed and anxious, perspiring with widened eyes out of fear and distress, while looking at the masonry red apple of science and the lotus flower within it. What is the meaning in such severe changes in Obama's demeanor? In response to this question, we should analyze these changes in Obama's demeanor in multiple layers. On the first layer, as it was previously noted, such changes are related to the number 101, which significantly resembles LOL, as per fact number 101 in the book 101 Amazing Barack Obama Facts. It is related to Obama's use of marijuana and cocaine in his youth. Because both marijuana and cocaine create symptoms such as happiness, cheerfulness, laughter, and rise in energy, but later on, those symptoms would change to stress, sweating, concerns, and rising heartbeat. Hence, changes in Obama's demeanor in the sequential scenes of this animation are related to this secret fact. In the second layer of this analysis, it should be noted that Obama's first term as president from 2008 to 2012 occurred in the old Masonry age, meaning before the astronomical changes of the famous Regulus star. But Obama's second term from 2012 and afterwards till 2016 took place in a period of astonishing astronomical changes, like the age of Regulus transfer from Leo to Virgo. This new age of Freemasonry is full of turmoil and collapse of the previous order governing the world, and naturally holds many staggering differences with the period before 2012. Such turbulence and alterations cause distress, fear, and change in Obama, and that is why we see that despite his cheerfulness in previous scenes, in current scene Obama's distress and fraught in his second term, which involves significant social, political, military, and cultural changes in the world, are depicted. In the third layer, this fear and distress is to some extent related to the golden coin beneath Obama's shoe. This golden coin is strangely underneath Obama's feet in a way that half of it is not visible. The image of this coin observed from afar or when zoomed in and when rotated 180 degrees brings various figures and numbers to mind. Indeed, if the director had intended to, he could have depicted the coin's image clearly and avoid creating such confusion. Therefore, this confusion is intentionally done by the director, and its purpose is to transmit multiple messages to his audience. Drawings on the coin resemble number 68. When zoomed in, half of the face of a skull is visible, and when rotated 180 degrees, half of a crown with a cross on top of it can be seen. All three perceptions of this coin are connected to important events at the end of Obama's presidency and start of the next president, Donald Trump's reign. As we know, gold is a symbol of wealth and affluence. Observing number 68 on the coin shows us that we will be dealing with a person who is linked with number 68, wealth and gold. The closest person to these symbols is Donald Trump, because he's very wealthy, owns a 68-floor tower, Trump Tower in New York, and has lots of properties and hotels all over the world. On the other hand, the skull symbol points towards the militaristic approach and hostile, warmongering policies, which are again largely related to Donald Trump. Furthermore, the symbol of crown on the coin means the inauguration and conception of the global kingdom, which has, according to Kabbalist and Masonry plans, been entrusted to Trump so that he can lay the foundations of the establishment of the global government of Antichrist in Jerusalem. The collection of these three symbols comprise the important elements of the third layer of this scene. Obama is distressed and concerned looking at the age of Trump at the end of his own reign. In the next scene in particular, we will see that Trump is related to Psalm 23 of Old Testament and is destined to entangle the world in an age of destruction, fright, and horror in the valley of the shadow of death, while organizing the new kingdom of Jerusalem, which belongs to Antichrist.